Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. We are taking a look at Resident Evil 2 Remake. Hey guys, so glad you guys are here for the review. Just real quick, before we get too far into this, just want to let you guys know we are doing 3 Amazon gift card giveaways here on the channel. If you guys are interested and want to be part of that, I'll put the link for that video in the description. Go ahead and click down below and watch that video and see how you guys can get entered to win some Amazon gift cards. And yeah, with that out of the way, dude, Resident Evil 2 was so good. First of all, I've played I've watched all the Resident Evil movies, but I have not played any of the games, and for some reason I just didn't. Finally, a friend of mine convinced me to play it, because, man, I've been sleeping on this game. It was so good. It was way better than I originally intended. And just like with all my other videos, we're going to kind of go over some stuff that I really liked and some stuff that I didn't quite like, and then we'll give my verdict here at the end. Just right off the bat, dude, first thing I noticed is the graphics were so good, so realistic. The zombies and everything, like, Capcom really captured the horror element with the graphics. I don't know, just everything looked pristine and fresh, looked really good. Much better than I originally thought that it was going to be. Another thing, kind of a pro also, is although the story was a bit, kind of jumpy here and there, I really enjoyed the story. You play through a few different scenarios with each character. You play through 2 as Leon and then 2 as this girl named Claire, who you meet right at the very beginning. And there's like different scenarios. So like 2 different scenarios for Leon and 2 different scenarios for Claire. And I thought that was really cool. So kind of the same story, but then there's like a few little twists here and there. And yeah, I thought that was super awesome. Although some things didn't quite like connect, I should say, but we'll save that for the cons, because that is something that I'll talk about a little bit later in our cons section. Sorry, I keep looking down here because I wrote my notes on a whiteboard. Just real quick, I've been trying to edit this video for like a few days now, and I did have a pros and cons list here. My daughter erased it, so I had to quickly rewrite it and everything. But moving on to our next thing that I really enjoyed was, dude, the boss fights. That was like the biggest thing about this game, is that the boss fights were all so fun. Actually, this next part kind of mixes the boss fights with the gameplay, with the enemies, a bunch of different things. So this is a survival horror game, and you have very limited resources. You got barely any ammo, barely any healing items, and that's what makes these boss fights like super duper intense. There was tons of times where I freaking unload a clip on it, and I'm not the best, and so there's a few times that I felt like I missed, because the gameplay is a little bit more stiff than some other games. But anyways, it just made it so intense, so gratifying too when you finally beat them. And all these different zombie bosses are freaking, like, kind of goes along with the graphics, dude. They're just all so good and freaking scary. And then even after you play through the different scenarios with both Claire and Leon, you get like I called it the secret ending, but I guess it's called the true ending, where you fight, I want to say it's the main virus dude, but now he's like super big and he's tearing apart this train. And when I was first battling it, I had no idea how to freaking beat it. I know most of the time you shoot the eyeballs, but like I didn't see like an eyeball till like the very end. So it took me a few different tries to beat this final boss, but it was super cool. Like, I don't even freaking know. Like, gameplay, graphics, boss fights, dude, just all those just mesh so perfectly in this game. And the music was really good too. Not as good as like Doom Eternal. Freaking Doom Eternal was top freaking notch, but definitely captured some of that scary vibes, especially like, what do you call, like those eerie vibes, especially when you're going through like the dark parts of the what do they call it, the police station. I couldn't even think of it. Another thing that I actually quite enjoyed very much was all the little puzzles that are scattered throughout the game that you gotta like figure out to help you unlock the next area. Like there's these like little safes that you can find, and then you have to do like the button combination so that you can get a key from a keyboard to unlock, you know, a safe somewhere else to get, you know, extra ammo, pouches. I don't know. There's just tons of little puzzles here and there that like you have to figure out, like riddles, and even a lot of like different notes and pictures that you have to find to give you the combinations for locks. So like kind of all that put together was really fun to try to figure out how to do that, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of those. Going on to our next thing that I really enjoyed is that the enemy variety outside of just the typical zombies was the bigger zombies. Like we fought like a huge like crocodile thing in like the sewer, and then these things that I kind of thought they're like lickers, I guess. They have like their brain showing, and they are extremely fast and extremely deathly. I literally would save shotgun ammo, and then with Claire, I forgot what gun it is, that shoots big old grenades or whatever, specifically for those things if I encountered them, because I hated those. Very similar to like the clickers from Last of Us. I couldn't think of it. That pretty much you have to kill right away, otherwise that they will kill you later on. But there was just tons of different like maybe mini bosses, I would say. I don't know, but they were just like bigger enemies that were freaking good. Another thing that I really liked is that as you play throughout the game, there's this dude like called Mr. T or something like that, Mr. X, I forget what he's called, but he literally chases you throughout the entire game. And I gotta tell you, dude, I have never been more freaking stressed. Because, so, first off, the first time that I met him, I didn't know what I was supposed to do, and I just unloaded my entire clip on him, and I messaged my buddy, and I was like, dude, what do I do? Like, he just keeps killing me. And he's like, oh no, dude, he's pretty much invincible to a certain part of the game. And I was like, no. So I would like literally wasted all of it. But it was like so stressful, like hearing his footsteps throughout the freaking police station. And sometimes he'd bust through the walls, like right where you were at. And that's probably the most stressed I've been in a game, is when you're being chased by some dude that's out to kill you, that's freaking invincible. And I freaking loved it. I don't know why I mean, before I figured out how to do it, I was so, I don't know. And there are a few safe spots, don't get me wrong. Kind of moving on to the things that I didn't quite like, to our cons. There are certain parts of the game and where you're like, and I don't know if maybe it's like my controllers were set up wrong, but you'd be like shooting and then all of a sudden you'd quickly flip around, and I'm like, bro. It happened a few times during the boss fight. I'll see if I have any footage of it and we can put it up on screen. But yeah, there's a few times where I'd be like shooting at an enemy. Most of the time it would happen during boss fights, because then I would die or get hit. And you'd just be shooting, and then all of a sudden you do a quick turnaround. And it could have been my controller configuration. I don't actually know. I actually had it to where you hold circle to run, because I don't like pushing the bumpers as much. But yeah, that was probably the main like gameplay issue that I didn't quite like. Another thing that I would say was a con is that some of the things just didn't make sense between, even in the same scenarios, like Leon's A scenario and Claire's A scenario, where sometimes things would happen and like there's a spot where you guys meet up by like a fence, and then Leon goes this way and then Claire goes the other way, but then like literally 5 seconds after that, Leon finds bolt cutters, and it's like, dude, you could have just saved Claire and had her come with you and be with you the whole time, instead of, you know, waiting till like the very end of the game, which kind of segues into the other part that I didn't quite like, is that I wish that there was more interaction between Leon and Claire. Like, they're both on the cover, but it's almost like they're totally separate characters. Like, you meet each other obviously at the very beginning of the game, and then you meet each other at the very end. And so there's a few like little interactions here and there, but you know, for the most part, there's just wasn't as much interaction between the two as I would like. I thought it would have been greater if they worked together instead of, you know, working separate and alone. But hey, man, that's just me. Those are just those are really the only things that I didn't quite like about the game, and they were kind of like nitpicky things that I wish just would have done better, but you know, who knows. And yeah, so kind of those were the pros and cons of this game. overall, a very solid game. I thoroughly enjoyed, excuse me, my time playing this. And I don't know if I said this in the video yet, but it is my first Resident Evil game that I've ever played. I've seen lots of the movies, and from what I've been told, the movies and the games don't quite connect, I guess, or they're not quite the same. Anyways, but this is my first one, and it got me hooked, dude. I freaking love this game. I'm excited for Resident Evil 8. I do have Resident Evil 7, so I definitely want to try to play some of the other ones. I saw Resident Evil 3, so I'll probably pick that one up too. But yeah, dude, overall, such a fantastic game. Yeah, and if I were to give this, I almost forgot what this whole video is about. If I were to give this a rating out of 10, I honestly think it's a solid 8, man. It was really good game. Like I said, the graphics were freaking amazing. And also the graphics weren't as good as they could have been, because for me to get game footage I had to record this in not the high definition mode. For some reason Capcom locks it and you can't actually record in high definition, so stupid. But regardless, graphics were great, gameplay was fun, puzzles were fun, bosses were really fun. Overall, had a really great time. Like I said, had a few hiccups here and there that I didn't quite but that's, you know, kind of some nitpicky stuff. But well, I'm rambling now. But yeah, if I would give this, I'd totally give this an 8. Very solid game. If you guys haven't played this game yet, I highly recommend picking up a copy, playing it for yourself. Fantastic game. And yeah, guys, that's it for the review. What did you guys think of it? Have you played Resident Evil 2 yet? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, just a quick reminder about the giveaway that we're doing here on this channel. We're doing 3 Amazon gift card giveaways. Like I said at the very beginning, we're putting a link to that in the description of this video. So go on down there, watch that video, and yeah, get yourself entered in to win one of them Amazon gift cards. And thanks everyone for taking the time out of my... I can't even talk. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. You guys are freaking awesome. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.